Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This time out, we're going to take a look and a listen to the BAE 500C 500 series FET style compressor. That's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to listen to it on some acoustic guitars, maybe some vocals, maybe a kick drum or a bass. We'll see. We're going to listen to it on a few different sources here. We're going to talk a little bit about BAE. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Also go out to the website and check out what I have going on over there. So before we get started, full disclosure, my good buddies over at Sweetwater sent me 3 of the BAE 500 series modules here. Today we're listening to the 500C compressor, but we're also going to do a couple of EQs. These are on loan. These are not given to me, so I don't get to keep them. I got to send them back. But you guys have asked me about some BAE stuff in the past. I've never used it before. I know they have a reputation of making some high quality stuff. So once again, I reached out to my good friends at Sweetwater, and they were so cool to send these to me on loan. So if you want to check out any of the BAE stuff, I'll leave the link in the description box. It is an affiliate link. Thank you so much in advance. So let's take a look and a listen to the 500C. So you'll probably see it come up on the screen somewhere if you haven't seen it already. We're going to walk through the controls. Basically, this is a 500 series 1176 style compressor. That's exactly how BAE markets it. It's a kind of a transparent, doesn't have a lot of color, but it just sounds great and it just does the job. So we're going to listen. So let's go over to the unit here quickly. Let's walk through the controls. Then I'll show you what I have kind of set up here on the console, and then we're going to listen to it first on acoustic guitar. So here we go. So if we come over here to the rack, pretty simple layout. So if we start at the bottom here, we have our ratio. We have 2, 4, 8, 12, 20, and then ABI. ABI stands for all buttons mode. So this is like the all buttons mode on an 1176 if you want to do some cool drum crush or something like that. These are all stepped here, which is kind of nice. We're going to start on a 4:1 ratio. Okay, above that we have our release here. From fastest is all the way clockwise. The slowest release is all the way counterclockwise. Then we have our attack next to that. Again, fast is all the way clockwise. Slow attack would be all the way counterclockwise. There is a little S and an F. Maybe you can see it on the unit, maybe you can't. We have our output, our input, and then we have our gain reduction meter here. We also have a few buttons here in the center. If we just want to run the signal through this 500C compressor and we don't want to compress anything, we just want to run it through its circuitry, we could turn the gain reduction off here, and that'll just give us the flavor of the actual circuitry with no compression. We have a high pass filter here, so if we're using some low end material and we want to filter out the lows from triggering the compressor, we can do that. And then we have our bypass here to bypass the compressor. So it's a real simple layout. So let's come back over here to the console. Let me tell you what I have going on. So real simple. Right now we're going to start with an acoustic guitar. I just have it inserted here. It's a mono compressor, so I have it here on the track. We did a little bit of EQ on it, nothing major. On the console itself, I've bypassed the compressor on the console. I have bypassed the master bus hardware. So all we're listening to from a hardware perspective is the SSL, obviously, and then the BAE 500C. So let's play this back on this little acoustic guitar loop. I'll go over there and twiddle the knobs a little bit, take it in and out of the circuit, so you could kind of get a feel for what this thing sounds like on an acoustic. All right, here we go, let's listen. Okay, so what I hear in the room here, again, it's very transparent. It doesn't have a lot of color to it, which I like. It's kind of a very transparent kind of 1176. And 1176, depending on the rev or the revision that you have, some kind can sound a little bit more top sparkly or a little bit more warm in the low mids. This seems like it's pretty even across the spectrum, at least from what I can hear. And I'm compressing pretty heavily there, as you can see. We're compressing probably somewhere around 7 to 10 dB. It does a really nice job of tucking in the transient really nice, but it doesn't get in the way too much. And then I took out the gain reduction mode and just ran through the circuitry. And when you bypass the compressor in and out there, you can hear how the transformers add a little bit of sizzle to it, which is kind of cool. So it really sounds nice on acoustic. I could see having a pair of these on a pair of acoustics. That would be kind of nice. Or if you had a pair of them on like an acoustic bus or something, that might be kind of cool. So that's what it sounds like on acoustic guitar. Sounds really good. So far, so good. I think it sounds great. We'll come back here in a second. Let me repatch this thing and let's go from acoustic. I want to try it on a kick drum. I want to see what this sounds like on a kick. So give me a second. I'll come right back. I'll patch it into our kick drum and we'll take a listen to something that's a little bit more percussive. Be back in a second. We're back. So I got it patched in now to a kick drum. Let's listen to just some kick. Go over there. We'll twiddle the knobs. We'll see what we can do. Here we go. So on kick drum, what I like about it on this is that I turned on the high pass filter there as well, so the lows of the kick isn't triggering the compressor too much, any more than about 3 or 4 dB, and it gets to be a little bit too much for me. But a kick drum I wouldn't compress very heavily. But what I like about this, and what this kind of reminds me of, although it's a different style of compression, is it kind of reminds me a little bit of the DBX 160A on kick, which I love. It kind of really elongates the sustain of the kick just a little bit, and it gets a little bit more punchy sounding when you just dial it in just right. So it sounds pretty good on kick drum. Sounds pretty good. I wouldn't have thought that it would sound great on kick, but I actually like it. Again, it sounds very similar to that DBX 160, although that's a VCA style. This is a FET style. But I like it. Gives a little bit of punch. Really sounds great. Okay, now let's go to lead vocal. So give me a second. I'll patch it into a lead vocal here, and we'll take a listen to it on that. Be back in a second. Okay, we're back. So now we got it patched down here to a lead vocal. Again, this lead vocal is a little bit of EQ, tiny bit of reverb on it. That's it. So by the way, this lead vocal, comes from the song Could I Be Lucky Just Once by Brandon Van Allen. Make sure you check out his links in the description box below. Brandon's a really cool singer, songwriter, producer, and educator. I work with Brandon a lot. You've heard a lot of his music on this channel, and you're going to hear more of his music on this channel in the future. So check out Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for letting me use your session. So here's just his raw vocal, untreated, which every singer loves to hear. Let's take a listen to this, and let's see what we can do with the BAE 500C. Here we go.
I saw somebody once cry because they couldn't pick up all the pieces and move on. I saw somebody's dream die. They couldn't wait for that shooting star to fall. That shooting star to fall. I saw somebody once cry because they couldn't pick up all the pieces and move on. I saw somebody's dream die. They couldn't wait for that shooting star to fall. That shooting star to fall. I saw somebody once cry because they couldn't pick up all the pieces and move on. I saw somebody's dream die. They couldn't wait for that shooting star to fall. That shooting star to fall. I saw somebody once cry because they couldn't pick up all the pieces and move on. I saw somebody's dream die. They couldn't wait for that shooting star to fall.
So again, what I like on this is, again, it doesn't sound compressed. We're compressing about 10 dB here, and it doesn't sound compressed. It pulls that vocal nice and forward. You hear a little bit more richness in his chest come out, which I really, really like. And I think we're doing like a medium fast attack. We're not even using the most fast attack because it's not that aggressive of a vocal, but it sounds really smooth to me. I really like it. It sounds like an 1176 would. That's what it sounds like to me. That sounds very 1176-ish. Or like on the kick drum, I felt like it sounded a little bit more like that VCA DBX 160. So it sounds really great on vocals too. It's a very versatile compressor, and I think these things sell for about $900 or a little $999, maybe $1,000 on Sweetwater. Again, you can check the link in the description box below. But if you're looking for a really nice, clean, flexible 500 series unit, in this 1176 style, I think this is one you should definitely take a look at. And I think the only drawback to this is that it's mono. I would have a pair of these if it was me. I would have a pair. A pair of these would sound really, really great because they're clean, they're transparent, there's not a lot of color to them, and they seem pretty flexible. I mean, you use them on acoustic, sounding really great. Kick drum sounded better than I thought it was going to sound, and then the lead vocal sounds good as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today and taking a look at the BAE 500C mono compressor. Again, thank you Sweetwater for sending it to me and letting us borrow this. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, because we're going to do 2 more BAE videos. We're going to do a couple of their EQs coming up in a future video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments what you think about BAE, and if you've ever used any of their products, what do you think of them? I know they got a great reputation, and this stuff is also, when you pick up these modules, by the way, they're built like a tank too. They're really built well. The switches and the dials and the knobs feel really good. So I think it's a high quality piece at a reasonable price. I'd like to know what you guys think below. And until the next video, I've been Dave with both Mixing Music Analog and also HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video.